So here we are looking down in the front of the tractor. The swivel socket that I have on right now is for the inner tie rods. I've already got one out, as you can see on the right. I'm working on the left hand side. Well, actually it'd be the passenger side, but for me it's the left. So I'm working on getting these out right now, and I'll show you how that's done. I had to turn the wheel all the way to one side so that I could get in here, so I could get by the harmonic balancer. Wowza. She's tight on there. Let's go get some more air. So when I talked about needing more air, this compressor here, my father let me use this compressor whenever I bought my house. I didn't have anything, so he let me use this one. Now, this is a decent little compressor. We've had to rebuild this one once or twice. I'm talking about the compressor here. But the motor is the original one to this compressor, and that's a great little air compressor. It only goes up to about 120 pounds, and it's just, there's not a lot of CFM for this machine. So what I've done is I've bought a much larger compressor, which is this one here, and I actually got a really good deal on this compressor. I paid $100 for this compressor. All I had to do to it was rebuild this compressor here. What they did, and I keep this board just because I think it's funny, they had this board wedged between the engine and the compressor, and what it did was it essentially stretched that belt so tight that the bearings in this compressor prematurely wore out. Now, given normal operation, that would have been a long time before this compressor wore out. It's not that old. And it is an 80-gallon, and they're claiming here it's got close to, well, 16 CFM, which, hey, great. If it does, it does. But it does build air a lot faster than that other little rocket over there. So this is what I use, and this usually has about 150. Of course, I've just been using it. The regulator doesn't kick on until 120, so this has a lot more air delivery. And I've also got it set up so that I can use 1/2-inch air hose as well as 3/8. Now this thing is a lifesaver. Alright, so hooked up to my bigger air compressor that I got in here that goes up to 160 pounds. Let's see what happens now. That is the ticket. Sometimes all you need is just a little more air pressure and volume. I'm just going to put this nut back on just a few threads so that whenever I do separate the joint, it won't fall down. I don't know if you can see this or not on the camera, but I've got a pickle fork in here, one side of this. Normally I don't like using these pickle forks because it'll damage the boot on the tie rod. But in this case, there's no boot left. Ha! They're so wore.